We have further critical updates coming in this Sahil Dhaneshra crash investigation. They shift the spotlight now from the minor driver to the father. Delhi police sources are categorically informing us that the father, identified as Narendra, who works in logistics, was detained under Section 199A of the Motor Vehicles Act. That provision, by the way, for your knowledge, deals specifically with the liability of a vehicle owner or a vehicle guardian when a minor is found driving. Sources are also telling us that he was released after legal consultation, but he will be charge-sheeted under this section. That is significant to note because it means investigators are now moving beyond the Minors Act of Driving to examine the parental responsibility as well and also the statutory accountability. There's also another important detail coming in from our Delhi police sources this morning. At the time of verbal questioning immediately after the crash, the accused reportedly told the police he was 19 years old. That is why the FIR initially reflected the age as 19, but subsequent verification established that he was in fact 17 years old, so legally a minor. Police also confirmed he did not have a driving license at the time of the incident, something the victim's mother has highlighted time and again. Let's go across to Akil Jamil at the investigation ground zero. He's got further updates for us. Akil, glaring information coming in from our Delhi police sources. Do investigators believe that the father was aware that the vehicle was being driven by his minor child at that time on the 3rd of February? And does the fact that the accused initially stated he was 19 years old have any sort of legal implications, particularly as far as misrepresentation is concerned?
Well, Pramesha, if you see his father, the accused father has been basically constantly denying to come on camera. I've been trying to confront him since morning. I went to his residence as well. I've been trying several times, at least 10 to 15 times to try to speak to him on call, but he's constantly denying that he's not ready to speak. But one thing is for sure, that his father is the person who basically allowed his minor son to drive this vehicle. And if you see, there are 13 pending challans. We have got all those documents of those challans from the RTO department, and what we have seen that out of those 13 challans, there are 9 different challans that is for over speeding. So why there is certainly a delay, why there was a deliberate attempt from the father's side to allow his minor son, allow his juvenile son to drive that vehicle. And if you see, we exactly don't know that out of those 13 challans, if you see, the person who was driving the vehicles was his son behind the wheel or someone else. That is yet to be ascertained by the Delhi police. But one thing is for sure, that on that very vehicle, out of those 13 challans, 9 challans are for the over speeding. So that is also being investigated by the Delhi police in this direction. But initially what we have seen that there was certainly a one lapse on the part of the accused family, and or there could be a possibility that his father, the accused father, the juvenile's father, could have hidden the details or the data from the Delhi police. Because if you just go by the FIR, Parmeshwar, it's clearly mentioned over there that the accused is a 19-year-old individual. Last night when I have spoken to the DCP of the Dwarka region, Mr. Ankit Singh, he has confirmed this to us that the accused is a minor. He's a 17-year-old individual. The juvenile was taken to a correction center, and then later on, with the help of Juvenile Justice Board, what we have seen that later on he was granted interim bail on 10th of February. So right now he's out on bail, citing examination reason, board examination reason, because he's a 10th standard student. So of course, if you see on the part of the father, the accused father, certainly there are several lapses that has been granted because of the permission. He has basically granted his permission to his son to drive that vehicle, and after that what we have seen that his vehicle has basically mowed down a 23-year-old young man. And since then his mother has been constantly grieving. She has been constantly demanding justice, and what we have seen that last evening she has exclusively spoken to our managing editor Shivaru, in which she has been constantly saying that only thing she wants is justice from the administration. Because of course, if you see, there are certainly several lapses, because initially when that incident has taken place, Parmeshwar, at that point in time it was at around 11:30. The first PCR call that the Dwarka police team, the South Division police team of the Dwarka, has received what was at around 11:54, and when the victim was taken to a hospital, it was at around 11:54. So when he was taken to the hospital, the doctors have declared him brought dead. So we have also accessed the post-mortem report copy in which it was clearly written that it was a multiple organ failures. And apart from that, if you see, there was a rib cage. The rib cage was completely shattered, broken. And what we have seen that apart from that, if you see, the several organs were completely got dismantled. And I have myself seen with naked eyes all those two cars and one bike which has been kept at this very police station. Right now the police team is not allowing us to go inside the police station, but when we went inside earlier this morning, we have seen that if you see the morphological structure of that all those three vehicles, it has got completely dismantled. The rear wheel of that bike has completely got dismantled, and then what we have seen that it has been kept on the floor. And initially, if you see, all the airbags of that vehicle, of the Scorpio van, has already been opened. So the person who was behind the wheels in the Scorpio car is saved right now because of the airbags. And what we have seen that the 23-year-old young man who was standing just outside his college institute, and what we have seen that he has lost his life, and the grieving mother has been pleading for justice for the last 15 days.